Hi, I'm Drake. I'm a journalism student here at Nevada. When we were first given the assignment to go and volunteer and interact with a group of people who we didn't know a whole lot about, I have to admit, I was pretty nervous. I decided to go with the St. Vincent's Food Pantry. The first thing that I thought about were all of the negative stereotypes there are surrounding the impoverished. I wasn't really comfortable with the idea of handouts because I've always been taught to work for what I have. I had thoughts like, oh great, it's on 4th Street. What the heck is Sarah getting us into? Are these people going to be mean? Will they even speak English? Will we just be working with a bunch of weirdos with court-ordered community service? And you know what? My first impression of the location didn't help much. Don't worry though, over the course of the semester, my experiences in the food pantry and in our classroom changed my mind about most of those things. Being an aspiring journalist, I decided to do a little bit of research on the topic of hunger, and what I found was pretty surprising to say the least. Hunger and food insecurity are problems that a large amount of people in the U.S. struggle with every day. 1 in 7 Americans are food insecure, and in Nevada it's even worse than that, with 1 in 6 of our residents struggling to feed themselves and their families regularly. The Catholic Charities of Northern Nevada's website had some pretty promising information though. In 2014, the food pantry I was about to be volunteering at gave out over 2.5 million free meals to people who needed them. The thing that stuck out to me the most, though, was the fact that their staff consisted of only 3 paid employees and a purely volunteer workforce. The food pantry is a big warehouse area at St. Vincent's that's connected to a thrift store. I worked in the back where stacks of pallets and boxes filled with all sorts of foods were stacked to the ceiling. There were some days when the warehouse had more food than they knew what to do with, but other days we would find it pretty empty. The boxes we filled mostly had things that wouldn't spoil quickly in them, like canned vegetables, dried beans, and juice. Depending on what day it was, though, the recipients could get lucky and get some more appealing items in their care packages, like fresh fruit. On those days, everyone's spirits were high. The first several times I went to work at the pantry, I overheard people asking up front, "Is there any meat today?" Only to be disappointed by the desk workers saying, "Sorry, not today." But finally, on about my 4th visit, there was chicken. A lot of it. There were boxes upon boxes of chicken legs that were donated by a very generous person, or a group of people, I'm not sure. We put the chicken into bags and filled shopping carts with them so that each and every individual who came in for a care package got some. Those were the days when I really came away feeling like I had actually gotten something out of the experience. The days when we were basically giving them boxes of leftovers were borderline depressing. And hearing grown men and women get excited about a few pieces of chicken in their boxes was definitely humbling. All in all, working with the other volunteers at the food pantry and knowing that we were making a difference made it fun and not just about the grade. There's a lot that you can do to help the people in our community. Visit ccsnn.com to learn more about the thrift store, the food pantry, and more.